Yo, what's up, guys? So we're on some Eldin Ring today, and low key, I had a pretty long day today, guys. If I'm being honest with you guys, there's so many tasks to do. Today we held. There you go. And yeah, so today we had a protest on our school today, and it's actually so crazy. So one, I've always been a politically aware person. You know what I mean? I've always thought that in order for, I guess, the world to move better as a place, we need to, I guess, acknowledge the current issues that are occurring in the government. I don't know if that's something. And I've always thought that like the first place to start would be the government in general, just because I felt like the government has a lot of resources that can do good, but instead, they obviously misuse of funds, whether it be through the military or through other, where, they probably shouldn't. Yeah. And I think that's always been something that I've always held issue with, is just the fact that they're, doing things in a way that I just always thought was just so weird for an elected official to do. And something that, I don't know, kind of just opened my eyes today is the fact that I feel like I'm, I do these protests, or like I go to these protests and I do these things, but it's like, do I genuinely like live it, That's something that like I've kind of just I don't know, assume whenever I go to these protests, the fact that oh, like people that I'm like protesting for, like they they need someone to speak up for them and this and the other. But I think something that kind of just like I guess kind of opened my eyes a little bit earlier, and then I redirected my how long is it? Seriously, like slugs. That's like a wizard or some shit. As I was saying, I feel like, sometimes I think that, these people don't have voices, or like I need to be the one to speak up for them because, other people can't. And I feel like that's just such an ignorant take to take nowadays. Especially considering, as a first generation American, I guess, there's this stereotype, especially in like Latin communities or like other communities, where like your parents don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, you're in college, but what are they necessarily doing? You know what I mean? And then I see these TikToks where it's like people are like, oh mom, look what happened, and then they're like a senior banker or some shit like that, right? And then they're like, look mom, I got an internship and something like that. And it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of like absurd things like that. It's like do that just because your family wants to immigrate. You don't understand what it is to, like live, or like what it is to have like a senior position and things like that. And I'm like, that's so true, especially when it comes to like Hispanic audience, because it's so. No, I keep fucking dying in this bitch. Oh my god. Oh wait, I wasn't even good. Anyway, let me get back to the point. It's such a fucking last site of grace visited. What's the state? Margarita. What is that? Holy shit! Look at him. He's fucking aura farming on me right now. That's crazy. Oh, it's just right here. Okay. Well, yeah. As I was saying, it's so easy for people to be like, well, yeah, my parents, I was gonna do this, and then they said, well, what's that? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's such a weird way. I guess parents too. Like, some of these conversations are like, you guys need to have these conversations. It's like I wouldn't say the immigrant, it's just like a lot of people very like, I don't know, take it or leave it, bad faith. Not like necessarily hurt, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? To me, I've always been taught that if you become something, or like when you learn something, you see it and you regurgitate it back into like your community, or you regurgitate it back into the people that you love to help them also become, you know what I mean, educated. So it's like when I see them like acting this way, or like focusing this type of things, like they're like, you guys like know. I think your parents know more than your parents really think, and if so, why do you belittle your parents? Like, why do you think that just because they you're insulting their thinking that? Yeah. Holy shit. Fucking God, man. Like fire explosives. Alright, let me gain that fucking hurt, man. Jesus. Like that. Light work, bro. I think it's a lot of things when it comes to like what's it called, like Dark Souls games, or Souls games in general, is that there's always like a little skill difference just because you don't really, you know what I mean? You don't want to go too aggro, and if you're going too aggro, it's like, okay, well, like obviously like I'm not feeling away quicker, you know, shit like that. It's always like you have to like readjust yourself when it comes to like Souls games. That's some shit that like it always trips me up in like every single Souls game. It's like, okay, fuck, I need to do that. Yeah, it always trips me up when I'm like trying to get back into these games, because it's like, bro, I keep on trying to do things the right way, right? But then obviously some enemies aren't meant to be targeted the same way as others, you know? So it's like, sure, I'm just wasting my time doing this shit. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. Also, I have, I was watching my president doing most of the protest work. I was just watching them, and I think I'm like, dude, sometimes I think I don't see social justice in the way that I do. You know what I mean? If I'm looking at her, and like, you know what I mean, she's dying for that shit. I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, I probably should be up there with her considering I'm a vice president like that, but I really want it. Like, I'm like, you know what I mean? But to be fair though, you know what I mean? It takes a lot of courage to be the one to like sit up there and just speak. You know what I mean? Especially losing your voice the entire time. That is so brave to do. And you know, I'm like, hey, I stood in the sidelines for this, but to be honest, like, I don't know, man. Like, I think there's obviously gonna be better people to do it. I don't think people take it seriously in that regard. So I guess I don't know. Kind of like a self, you know, kind of issue thing. I feel like you don't take me seriously enough to be an activist leader, but I'm more willing to like spread it out because I feel like it's like important, you know what I mean? But I feel like the freedom movement and do things like that. You know, that also kind of scares me a bit because I fear for, you know, my future, which is something that's always kind of lingered with me when it comes to like social justice movement or like other movements in general, because I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I was put here to do something, right? But it's like I'm also like very fearful of like the idea of losing it all, you know what I mean? And I think I know we make jokes about this shit all the time, you know what I mean, with like the low Kurt Canyon and shit, but like the idea of dying for a political message, that like, I don't know, like it's been rubbing me for some time now, that idea of like dying for a political message, and if I'm ready to take a bullet for that shit, you know what I mean? If I'm, holy shit, it's a turtle.
You're tarnished, aren't you? I welcome you to the Church of Vows. I am Miriel, steward of this sacred chamber. My apologies for the unseemly state of affairs. Do you know the origin of this place? How it came to be known as the Church of Vows? Well, that is a shame. But who can blame you? The shattering has caused us, all of us, to lose sight of something very dear. It is here, at the Church of Vows, that the great houses of the Erd Tree and the Moon were joined by the matrimonial bond between red-haired Radagon and Renala of the Full Moon. And so our church holds in view the monuments of both houses, the Erd Tree of the capital and the Academy of Rea Lucaria.
Damn, I'm fired. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't think I'm willing to buy that message right now. You know, I have solutions. This is so interesting. But yeah, that's something that like fears me. Like if I'm ready to die for a political message, if I'm really, you know, if I'm so passionate about something that I'm willing to die over it. And I think over time, I'm thinking more and more like, you know, if I'm putting myself in these positions where
Well, you are free. I would serve if you find anything, unless perhaps, in which case I...
study sorcery, study incantations.
You wish to know more of Lord Radagon? Lord Radagon was a great champion, possessed of flowing red locks. He came to these lands at the head of a great golden host. When he met Lady Renala in battle, he soon repented his territorial aggressions there, and became husband to the Carian queen. However, when Godfrey, first Eldin Lord, was hounded from the lands between, Radagon left Renala to return to the Erd Tree capital, becoming Queen Marika's second husband and king consort, taking the title of second Eldin Lord. The mystery endures to this day as to why Lord Radagon would cast Lady Renala aside.
Switched up on his day one, bro.
Moreover,
Wait, what can you really do
why
about
a
that?
mere champion would be chosen for the seat of
That's crazy, dude. Sure, let me study. Magic Clint Blade. Carrying Greatsword. Yo, this shit would look even tough. What do I have? 14 intelligence? What would I need? Oh, 14 intelligence. Oh, okay, cool. What is my intelligence? I think being a sorcerer might be the move, guys. I'm not sure. I have to reset my build just to be a sorcerer. I know sorcering in this game is like kind of cheese right now. But like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, I don't know. This is my first time playing the game. I feel like I get some slack. You know what I mean? Alright, where is... Yeah, let me go... Oh shit, what is that? Is that a giant? No, it's just another key. Alright, bet. But yeah, as I was saying, you know what I mean? Like, Charlie Kirk was, you know what I mean? Whether he liked it or not, but he was willing to die for the cause, you know what I mean? I think in person he wouldn't have done it if he had known that he was going to die. He would switch to the second. Because he was like a fucking grifter. I don't think Charlie Kirk ever like meant like everything he said. I think he was just saying shit just so he'd get him views and shit, you know? How like most grifters do. Same thing with, what's his name? Nick Fuentes. I don't think Nick Fuentes is like... I want to believe that he's a grifter. Just because I feel like he knows how dumb his audience is sometimes. And I feel like, you know what I mean? It takes one to know. Is that somebody behind me? What the fuck? I just got the fucking devil summon. Holy shit. What the fuck? They're sending fucking death blade. Oh my god, they're sending death beams towards me. Holy shit. But yeah, that's how I feel sometimes. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm willing to die for a political cause. I mean, I could... In the back of my mind, I want to live like a decent life. You know what I mean? I want to have a life where I don't feel like, I don't know, I'm not upset with myself, but I guess more in the fact that like I don't want. Who the fuck just shot that? Was it you? Pussy. there, you should definitely do it. Straight up. Oh shit, they just resurrected their dead already. Oh my god, I'm just gonna keep resurrecting. Alright, bro. I'm sick of you guys. But no, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I'm willing to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's scary. I mean, I don't want to live a regular life. I want to live a life where, you know, I gotta die for a cause. I feel like, you know, that'd make me a hero to a certain extent. But I'm also like, bro, am I built to be a hero? You know what I mean? Is that my burden to bear? You know what I mean? Thinking about it, you know what I mean? Because I feel like, I don't know. I want to believe that I was put on this earth for, like, you know, a good moral reason or something like that, right? But I also want to believe that I was put on this earth for, like, other reasons, you know, like normal reasons as to, like, who you are, what you want your life to look like, you know what I mean? Shit like that, where it's like, you live, like, the course of life. You don't, like, you know what I mean, diverge into doing something, I guess, more radical than you know, most things. But I also believe, you know, why shouldn't it be that way? So I'm very conflicting. I think that's something that, if you don't know me by now, you should know. Holy shit. I'm somebody who is very, like, who the fuck just kirked me? Holy shit. Yo. And they got robot on, bro. They did that shit like, you guys? Shit, we got fucking Jotunheim over here. Listen, do something. Do something. Alright, there you go, you're good. Alright. Oh my god. That shit is sucking. Dude, that shit scared the fuck out of me. Oh my goodness. Alright, but yeah, that's just something I you know what I mean, I think about a lot. It's like, am I willing to do this, you know what I mean, for the cause? Especially when it's at the risk of my people, you know what I mean? That's something that I you know, I kind of, I guess, it feels like it's like some weight on my shoulders sometimes. I'm like, no, I need to be better, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to things like that, it's crazy. Oh yeah. Oh my god. That's a fucking bear, dude. No, bro. I'm straight, bro. I don't think you can move it too fast for me. That's fucking scary. But yeah, that's just something that I was thinking. I was looking at my president, right? And she was like, she was leading it, and I don't know, bro. Like, there was a point where we were trying to wrap up, you know what I mean? Just get everybody done, just because, like, we didn't want time to, like, waste or whatnot. And, bro, tell me why, like, I don't know, she just wanted it more. I don't know, she was like, I got one man. I was like, damn, bro, my fault. You know what I mean? Like, I was just trying to be, like, mindful of the time, mindful of everybody, you know what I mean? I didn't want it to, like, you know, just kind of, like, slowly die out kind of thing, you know what I mean? But, no, bro, she had that shit, and I was just kind of like, fuck, dude, like, you know what I mean? I'm her vice president, and I need to be like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'd have to like uplift her, support her a little bit. So that's something I thought, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I need to get better at. So I'm like, dude, honestly, like, say I wasn't there, like, you know what I mean? Well, I think say I was, I don't think I would have made much of a difference. Which is another conversation where I'm like, you know what I mean? The other that wasn't there is that, like, you know, that is because my opinion mattered in her, you know, in her eyes, you know, and how bad does she need me? What does she want me? Which I guess is a conversation that me and her should have personally, not really something I should be putting onto the public, you know what I mean, to like guess about or like think about, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I just thought about that while like we were protesting. I was like, damn, bro, I need to step up. Like, that's a fucking crazy, you know, like. scary stuff. Oh yeah. Type. Oh, they don't get reanimated. Is there a way for us to like make them not reanimated, or is that like just set in stone? Is that like my verdict there? Is like the fact that I'm going to like the catacombs and shit, and they're like, you cannot trespass. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. I'm not too sure. Don't let me know in the comments down below. Lock myself up with contraption. I'm assuming I would need to light that, right? This is the only one that's not lit. So maybe. Bro, what? Fuck, the wrong one. Just the wrong person. Okay, whatever. Point is, a lot of conversations that were held today where I was just kind of like, this is, you know what I mean? This is kind of weird for me to be thinking right now. But regardless, it's whatever. I have a protest tomorrow, anyways, and I have a birthday to go to. So you know what I mean? Regardless, I can't be in bad spirits. I need to keep myself uplifted, keep myself high energy, because if I'm not gonna have it, she's gonna have it, and I'm like, that's good for her. But like if I'm doing this, I gotta do something for myself as well. You know what I mean? I can't just be here sitting on the sidelines, just clapping and being like, yeah, I was part of that, because I feel like that's not really gonna do anything for me in the long run. If I'm being honest with you, just being like, yeah, I participated in that. So I feel like I gotta step up and do a little bit more. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see y'all next time.